Hello and welcome to another episode of Inside Houston Real Estate. My name is Lance Basil, your host, and on this channel, we aim to feature some of the most spectacular properties that we can find in the greater Houston area. And today's tour will not disappoint. We are featuring a five-story, that's right, a five-story, beautiful, spectacular single-family home. And the fifth floor, folks, is a rooftop deck that gives you practically 360-degree views of the Houston skyline. You're also going to see a beautiful chef's kitchen, spa-inspired bathrooms, custom lighting, and beautiful finishes throughout. So without any further ado, let's get this tour started. So before we continue and get this tour started, I want to give a huge thank you to Paige Pourjahan of TADA Realty Group for allowing this tour to take place. I literally called her this morning and she said, absolutely, I'd love to have you shoot it. So Paige, thank you once again for allowing us to feature this fine listing on Inside Houston Real Estate. Now folks, we just stepped in from the outside. It's a little windy out there. I will shoot some B-roll to share the arrival experience, but stepping into basically your foyer, you have this beautiful wood trimmed wall, backsplash wall, and just on the other side of that is going to be one of your bedrooms. So let me give you the specs. This home just got listed for $1,695,700 literally 7 days ago. It is 5 floors, 4,111 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 4.5 baths. And folks, I really love this home. This is my style of living. I hope you feel the same way. Now you're gonna see some beautiful light fixtures as we go through this tour. So starting here in the foyer, take a look at the chandelier here. And just nicely done. And guess what, folks? 5 floors, you're like, who wants to do all those stairs? You don't have to worry about that because you do have an elevator, which we will hop on in a little bit. But before I show you this downstairs bedroom, let's take a peek at the garage. And it is a 2-car garage. And this is the first time on the channel that I have literally seen a light design installation on the ceiling of the garage. Folks, leave me a message in the comments. Have you seen anything like this in a garage? So you have a 2-car garage and you have a nice cabinet in the corner. So we need to spend a lot of time on this, but you do have a glass garage door that allows a lot of the light to come inside. So this is just beautiful. I really love this light fixture though on the ceiling though. I've never seen something like that. All right, so here we are, your downstairs bedroom, which I'm going to consider to be more of a guest bedroom. And this, I believe, is a queen size bed, but you can see you obviously have room to do a king size if you wanted to go larger. You have a nice picture window there that leads out to the courtyard on the side. And I want to point out, you have high baseboards in here, as well as wood floors throughout. It's not that typical vinyl. So this is real wood. You have flat walls and you have 8-foot high door frames. And I love the little touches they did throughout this house. For example, point up to the ceiling. They painted that little bump out there to give the room a little bit more dimension. So just as nice little thoughtful touches. So this is an ensuite bathroom. Absolutely love the tile selection in here. And take a look at your sink with your drawers that pull out, and the countertops throughout this entire home are absolutely exceptional. You have an LED lit mirror, but what is the highlight is obviously this walk-in shower, folks. Look at the floor to ceiling. And I believe that's quartzite. It may be a porcelain, I'm not sure, but it is mud set. I love the choice of the brass hardware, and this is just a wonderful presentation. And here also in the bathroom, you have a walk-in closet, and you have, leading into that, a pocket door. And I love the use of pocket doors. And this is plenty enough space for a guest room. And then you have some more here, which is really just the setup for where all your wiring comes through. So this house is equipped with whole home audio, which is another nice touch. We don't often see that on the channel, but this is a great guest room. All right, so let's move on. I'll give you a view from this angle. All right, so let's head up, and we are going to ride the elevator up. But before I do that, I do want to point out the stairs here, and there is stairway lighting going up along the side. And I just absolutely love these stairs. The wood floors on the stairs is beautiful. And take a look at the chandelier here leading up to the second floor. It's a really nice presentation. And you have this long vertical window that pretty much goes almost floor all the way up to the top of this ceiling, and then it continues up even higher. So let's step on the elevator and go up to the second floor. And this is probably the first time I have rode the elevator, or a elevator, on the channel. The last time we were on, and we had an elevator to show, the elevator was not functional. So here we go, going up to the second floor. So this is just a really cool feature. All right. So we are here. That was nice. All right, folks, welcome to the second floor. And more of the same. Beautiful walls. Whoever did the wood trim design here did an exceptional job. And this home has tons of natural lighting. As you can see, you have these sliders, 4 sliders there, not floor to ceiling, but definitely high enough. Very large space in here. And the choice of ceiling fans and light fixtures, I definitely want to commend the interior designer for the selections they made in here. Beautiful stone backsplash wall featuring your linear fireplace as well as a 75-inch screen. And that tile post goes from floor to ceiling, and it is bookended by picture windows on either side. Really nicely done. And as I mentioned earlier in the intro, you have a chef's kitchen. Look at this island. Beautiful quartz countertops, waterfall edge. They're only featuring this here with 3 bar stools, but you can easily get 5 here if you wanted to. Beautiful light fixtures. I am really feeling this home. Here's your dining area and a beautiful chandelier hanging down that matches the pendant lights. And this is a first time on the channel as well. Take a look at the window that wraps around this basically breakfast nook. It's almost seamless, and it just wraps all the way around here on the corner. It's just very well thought out. The architect did a great job. You have very high-end appliances, so you have your Sub-Zero refrigerator and freezer. And I love the fact that the cabinetry goes up as high as it does. And this is some cool cabinets I'm going to show you in a second. But let's take a look at this island from this point of view, and you can see how long it is. Stepping around into this side, I want to point out that all of the cabinets are soft close. So I'll just give it a little push, and you can see that it goes in by itself. Beautiful countertops. And once again, a very large landscape window that extends pretty much the length of the kitchen. Now let's talk about these cabinets. So you basically just lift from the bottom and they rise up, and you'll see that you have LED lighting going along the bottom. And this is the first time I've seen this done on kitchen cabinets. Now your range is a Wolf range to go along with the Sub-Zero refrigerator. And you have a Wolf microwave built in. And once again, very nice cabinets. These also raise up. And these you have to push down. But I just absolutely love this kitchen. It's nice and open. This is a great home for entertaining. You have a wine fridge built in on the island here. Plenty of drawers. And once again, very nice drawers. I love the cabinetry. Soft close. You have your dishwasher built in right here. And this is a Cove dishwasher, very nice. And in addition, you have your trash pullout right here. So folks, what do you think about this kitchen? So it's just a nice, large, entertaining space. And those sliding doors lead out to a little bit of a deck. So if you're entertaining, you can open those up, you can step outside. But it's a really large space. Once again, this entire home is 4,111 square feet, but it feels larger than that. Here's your pantry off of the kitchen. And nice built-in shelving. Plenty of space in here for whatever you need to put in here. And they even took the shelves all the way down to the bottom. All right, so that concludes the presentation of this, what I think is a very nicely done second floor of this home. And we are going to go up to the third floor next. All right, and before we head up to the third floor, I forgot to point out that there is a powder room here. So once again, this is 4.5 baths, but take a look at this, folks. The tile selection in here is really, really nice. I have not seen this type of tile before in any of the homes that we've shot. Beautiful countertops, LED lit mirror, but look at the surround tile that goes from floor to ceiling in here. They look like little ivy leaves, but this is just nice. Like I said, whoever the interior designer was, they did a great job in selecting all of the materials that are going to be used in this home for finishes. All right, so now we can truly go up to the third floor. Before we head up to the third floor, since we took the elevator to the second floor, I just wanted to show you what the experience is like going up the stairs, going to the second floor. And as we mentioned in the beginning of the video, there is a really beautiful chandelier here at the halfway point. And I want to point out all of the nice wood trim design along the stairwell here. And you also have stairway lighting. And as you can see, we just entered the second floor. So now we are really going to head up to the third floor. Now, the first thing I'll point out to you as we're going up is you have another really long vertical window, and that continues up on the next floor as well. You can see a glimpse of it there at the top. You have some more really nice lighting. They continued with the nice wood trim design in the stairway here. More stairway lighting. And now we are on the third floor. And this third floor features 2 bedrooms, including the primary. So the first bedroom here to the right is your secondary bedroom. And what I'd like to point out here, folks, look at the windows. Same design that we saw down in the breakfast nook area. It's just very sleek, very cool looking. I love the choice of the ceiling fan here. It's not a boring ceiling fan, it has some design element to it. 8-foot high door frames, pocket door leading into the ensuite bathroom, LED lit mirror, nice quartz countertop, but the highlight is clearly the walk-in shower and the tile that they selected. So you have a glass frame shower, brass and black hardware. They even have a little hook right here on the wall. You know, whether it's a washcloth, a robe, what have you can put it there. But folks, take a look at this. Mud set, beautiful tile going from floor to ceiling. And once again, the interior designer just did such a great job here. So if you take a look at your hardware here, and it's brass and black, you have the black shower head, and then you look inside this little shelf niche right here. Take a look at that triangle tile, black and brass, to really make all the colors pop, from the hardware to the tones and colors that are within the tile surround. Just a beautiful design. And here you also have your closet, pocket door. It's not deep, it's not large, but it's enough for a secondary bedroom if you have guests. You have drawers that pull out here. And these are nicely done. They are soft close. Have a couple of hanging rods in here. So this is your secondary bedroom. Now let's move on. And we're gonna go down the hall. And before we get to the primary bedroom, which I absolutely love, you do have your laundry room here on this third floor. And as you can see, we're gonna call this more of a utility room because you do have a sink and a cabinet, plenty of cabinet space. And another cool touch they did here is the hardware on the pulls, you have brass and you also have black. But once again, look at the tile that's here. They have selected in this home some of the coolest tile that I've seen. And this is really a perfect tile for a utility room. More cabinet space. So it's convenient having the laundry room on the same floor as the primary. All right, so let's step into this primary bedroom. And you have, as you can see on the left side here, you have 4 sliding doors, which basically mimic what we have on the second floor. You have a deck that you can step out onto. And they only featured this room with, it looks like it's a queen, maybe a full-size bed. You can clearly go larger than that. But you have 2 picture windows on the headboard wall. You have a really cool looking light fixture. I don't know how you describe that. It kind of looks like hair blowing in the wind. LEDs. You have a beautiful tiled wall here, highlighting the linear electric fireplace, a very large flat screen. So this is pretty cool. And leading into your primary bath, you have a barn door. So throughout this home, instead of seeing a lot of doors that open out or open inwards, they chose to use pocket doors and barn doors, which is a great space saver. But folks, let's take a look at this primary bathroom. Great tile selection in here. Now we are seeing the same countertops that we saw in the other bathrooms, and that's fine. But you have nice LED mirrors. I like the fact that the sinks here are separated, so it's perfect for a partner scenario. More brass and black lighting fixtures. Picture window over your standalone tub. And I also like the tile surround that goes up above the tub, wrapping around into your very large walk-in shower. So folks, would you like to have a shower like this? So we're gonna step inside because you have, as you can see, mud set. You have floor to ceiling surround tile going all the way up. You have brass hardware on the glass frame. And then stepping in, you have not one, not two, but you literally have 3 shower heads, with the one at the top being a rain head. And you have a handheld on this side as well. So shower is plenty large enough for 2 people to get in here. And you have a nice size little shelf niche right here for your shampoo bottles. And once again, they matched the tile with the hardware that's in here. So just a very nice presentation. All right. And then here to the side, you also have a nice cabinet set up here. And this, I believe, we're going to check it out. It is a drawer. And I was thinking that maybe it was a hamper type situation, but you can see you have plenty of cabinet space, and this is a hamper. So you just have to pull it out right there. And also on the opposite side. So I have not seen a hamper set up quite like that, with 2 pull-out cabinet drawers. Really nicely done. And then behind me is your water closet. Now this I absolutely love, folks. As we step in, take a look. The commode opens. So it's one of those automatic open and close toilets. It obviously is heated as well. There's a bidet attached to it. Folks, if you've never used a toilet like this, they're quite nice. Nowadays, we tend to stay on our cell phones a lot. You go in the bathroom, you wind up sitting there for 20, 25 minutes. And if you have a heated toilet seat, you may sit there a little bit longer. So let's step into the primary closet. Once again, you have brass hardware. You have 8 drawers right there built in. I love the color scheme in here. It's kind of like a gray. And you have room all the way up top. Plenty of hanging space, plenty of space for shoes, plenty of drawers. And then even on this side, you have even more space. So this is a very nice walk-in closet, well designed. So folks, that is your primary bedroom and bath. And we aren't done. Stick with me. We are going to go up next to the 4th floor and show you what's there. Okay, so we are now at the 4th floor, and you can see you have a nice little landing here, enough room to put a couple of chairs. You can even do maybe a chase lounge on this, make it a little bit of a reading area. And on this fourth floor, this is your last secondary bedroom. So this is basically bedroom number 4. Now the way they're featuring it is more of a game room, but this is definitely a bedroom. Take a look once again at the cool light fixture up here. And the reason they're shown as a game room, because look at the size of the deck that you have here with more sliders, and you're on the corner, so it kind of wraps around. But you could see if you made this a bedroom, it could literally almost be another primary bedroom because it also has an ensuite. So this could be your sitting area right here. And obviously the wall where they're showing the roulette table is your headboard wall. You have 2 picture windows. Once again, you have that nice wood design on the headboard wall. And here is your walk-in closet. Now this closet is pretty cool because there is a window. Folks, when I first walked in, I thought it was a mirror, but that's an actual window above the drawers. So you have plenty of hanging space in here. I love the fact that we have very high ceilings in this house. I want to say they're 10 feet, probably 11 foot high ceilings. I don't have a tape measure with me, but they are pretty high. All right. Now let's take a look at the ensuite bathroom. So I probably wouldn't call this a primary or another primary, but you do have a large walk-in shower, not quite as large as the true primary, but it is nice. And same countertops and cabinetry that we saw, LED lighting. Let me open up the shower. And once again, a great choice of tile in here. I'm gonna have to get the name of this interior designer because this is just a job well done. Chef's kiss goes out to the interior designer and the architect of this home. Now folks, if you are moving to Houston or you currently live in the Houston area and you need help with your real estate needs, definitely reach out to me. My contact information is going to be in the description below. I'd love to assist you with all of your needs, whether you're looking to purchase, list, or lease. All right, so we have one last stop here. And folks, that is the 5th floor rooftop deck. And this is really great for entertaining. So I think you're really going to enjoy this space. As I mentioned in the intro, you literally have 360-degree views practically of the Houston skyline. Now, while we're here on the 4th floor, I also want to point out that you have this beautiful deck, and you can enter this from the landing, or you can enter it from this other bedroom, which they're featuring as a game room. But this is a wraparound deck on the corner of the home. And just another nice place to come out and relax. All right, so here's your rooftop deck, which is essentially the 5th floor of the building. It is very windy out today, so I hope my mic is picking my voice up. But folks, as I mentioned, you literally have about 360-degree views of all of Houston. So I'm gonna start on this side, kind of wrap around. And I know it's in a distance, but folks, the Heights Dining is nearby. Downtown is not too far. This is a great location with easy access to the freeways. Very walkable neighborhood. And folks, here is your downtown skyline. So could you imagine ending your day here or entertaining? At nighttime, the views have to be pretty amazing. And outside of this little bump up here, you do have 360-degree views of Houston. So this is pretty awesome. Used to live in Las Vegas and lived in a townhome. It was 3 stories plus a rooftop deck. And that rooftop deck had 360-degree views of Vegas, the Strip, Red Rock Canyon, and everything. So just a nice way to wind up your day, great space to entertain. And let me give you a better look at the size of this deck. So you can see it's quite spacious. You have lighting out here. As I mentioned, this home has home audio throughout, so you even have speakers up here on the deck. And I also read in the description that there is I believe there's a gas line somewhere up here. So if you need to hook up a barbecue grill or something like that. Now, if I'm wrong, I will put that in the description as well. But folks, great space. So definitely leave me a message in the comments. What are your thoughts on this? It has the feel of being a townhome, but it is truly a single family home because you do not have any attached walls. So once again, 4,111 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, recently listed for $1,695,700. So that wraps up this latest episode of Inside Houston Real Estate. Once again, I'd love to give a huge thank you to Paige Pourjahan of TADA Realty Group for allowing me to film her spectacular listing. Her contact information as well as mine can be found in the description below. Kindly consider subscribing, definitely hit that like button, comment, and share this video with everybody you know. Folks, if you'd like me to arrange a private tour for you, reach out. I'd love to make that happen for you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.